What's up times three is Vaughn, the Sirius star, Sirius V, the self-help sensei, coming to you live from the airwaves. And today we is on What If episode 6, self-sufficiency part 2, the future of housing, and the topic is farming. Hopefully everybody is doing good today. It is about 10:16 a.m. here. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Alright, so you already know how I do it. I got my talking points, my main talking points, the things that I'm going to bring up and discuss. Excuse me. So the first talking point is farming taught within public school systems. Now, the reason I'm bringing up farming taught in public school systems is because the earlier you learn survival skills, the better off you are with experience in using these skills. We all know experience, with experience you gain wisdom, with wisdom and experience you gain tricks to the trade and different stuff like that. So when I went to school, I was born in 1989. I went to school, and when I was in school during the 90s, I was not taught any type of agriculture techniques, any history about it, anything that had to do with knowing how to maintain your own crop system and growing food, or even where your local food comes from. Like not even just vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, like your things that you buy in the supermarket, the chicken, beef, all that stuff like that. I was not taught any of these things. I don't know about you guys, but I know I wasn't taught any of this type of stuff. So within the learning, having a program implemented into the school system, early on in the school system, where the youth can learn how to develop different small crops and things like that, and you can have different setups and specific classes for these things. And because the reason I'm saying this is because these are survival skills, and it seems like survival skills is not the number one priority within school systems. I believe public and private. One of the reasons why is because it's convenient for us already within this system that we live in to just go to the grocery store, the local mom and pop store, the local, depending on where you live at, your local area that you get food, produce, and just everything that you need to sustain yourself food-wise. So I can see why in this day and age, it's not something that's like a huge thing to put importance on. But the reason I wanted to bring up the implementation of programs within school systems is because this is a self-sufficient skill. And anybody who's been paying attention to any of my videos that I put out, it has a lot to do with self-sufficiency, because in my opinion, it's a big important thing for humans to be self-sufficient. We live in a codependent environment, whereas though everything is codependent on other individuals, and there's a lot of people who are very self-sufficient. But imagine a society where the majority of us are all self-sufficient. We're not all dependent on everybody for so much. It would change the fabric of society and how you move within society itself. Now, I wanted to go into placing small crops and things like that as a part of the home system. For example, in a futuristic type scenario, imagine having self-sustainable homes. And a self-sustainable farm system built within your home could be a priority already, whereas though we're not so interdependent on the grocery store, having to drive to the grocery store, having to go to the local produce store, your mom and pop stores, wherever you have to go to get your local food. Imagine these things already being, or imagine having ways to already have these things within your home system. Like, for example, you purchase a new home or you purchase a new apartment, there's already a self-sustaining setup, whereas though you could start growing your own produce. You just need everything, your seeds and the nutrients and all of it. Depending on your setup, pretty much, you'll be able to have something already within the home system. So that's another method of helping the self-sustainability of individuals within society. And I think I'm just big on prioritizing survival skills, because these are things that it doesn't seem to be extremely important within society. It's because it's so convenient for us to go and pay a dollar bill to get something in return that we need. Now, one of the things I wanted to also go into was during the time that I was doing research on this type of topic, I came across a lot of companies who were growing crops, but they weren't using horizontal land anymore. They started growing crops in a vertical manner, using systems like hydroponic systems, aeroponic systems. Aeroponic is, for individuals who's not aware, aeroponic systems are where the nutrients for your crops are sprayed in a mist way to feed all of the actual plants and whatever you're growing. And you're not necessarily using soil. It's just pretty much dangling submerged within air. So, aeroponics, hence the word aeroponics. Hydroponic in a water, nutrient-rich water system where the actual roots are just submerged in that, and that's how they're fed their nutrients and all the things that they need to grow. Now, these companies were growing within a vertical manner instead of using so much space of the land in a horizontal manner. For some reason, using the aeroponic system, it seemed like a lot of the companies went bankrupt or ended up going out of business. And I said for some reason, but there is a reason. There's a extremely important reason. It's because the maintenance costs for these types of crops, without using soil and using vertical setups like towers, the maintenance cost was too high for the company. Whereas though the maintenance cost versus the profit, it doesn't balance itself out, and you're not making any profit or anything like that. So you're actually just losing money trying to maintain the crops, and also developing these high tech systems to actually maintain these things. But the biggest cost, it seems like, when I was doing research, came from the money that's kicked out into the employees to maintain the systems. So this brings me into the next part of what I wanted to talk about, which is automation. We already have automation within the work field. Robotics has been doing a lot of things for a long time now, as far as helping within factories and all types of stuff. We got so much types of technology here on the planet today. If we dedicated a lot of robotics and automation into helping and assisting in specific things that humans need to survive. For example, what I'm talking about today, like companies that go bankrupt because of high maintenance costs. If we just implement robotics and technology and automation to maintain these things, it seems like that would be a less cost that the companies would have versus if they have employees and having individuals work there all the time. The automation pretty much takes away the necessary need for constant human interaction within this company. Not only that, when we come across automation, let me use, for example, a store for an example, that a grocery store or something like that, you'll have cashiers. But then sometimes you'll notice when you go there, you'll see more of the, the self-checkout systems. You'll see more of those. When stores get self-checkout systems, that you can automatically tell that they're cutting down the hours on cashiers, because now you have self-checkout systems, which is pretty much technology, robotics, and automation to help and assist with the store getting the transaction complete. If companies that have like high maintenance costs and stuff like that to maintain crops and maintain the employees and stuff like that, if that's one of the biggest reasons why it would go bankrupt or have to go out of business because of not enough profit, not kicking out so much money to that would be a good thing, and automation could assist in that, because now you have robotics that actually last. You're not using human beings, whereas though you have hourly pay. You're not using the constant need of the human within this company, within this like farm, within this factory. You're now using something that's automatically built within the system to help and maintain the system. So it's not a loss in jobs. You're not losing, individuals won't be losing jobs because this job never existed. It was already just something that was built within the company using robotics and automation. So automation can help in a lot of ways for helping and assisting in human basic survival needs. So there's no company versus the people, and I'm at risk of losing my job and stuff like that just because this robotic is now taking over my job. It was never a human job to begin with, so it wouldn't be something that's being taken over. Now, that's pretty much the majority of the talking points that I wanted to come on with today about the future of farming and public schools, learning these survival skills and things like that within society. Because my main focus for these podcasts is all about human evolution. Going into my description in my channel and things like that, you'll find that I'll consider myself a futurist, life enthusiast, and certain things like that. It's because I inspire to assist within human evolution, and I wholeheartedly believe that there are certain aspects that hold us back from evolving and moving forward with certain things in life as a human race, and as a whole human race. Pretty much, I believe there's things that hold us back, especially when it comes to just the fact that, we could transfer a lot of the workload that we do to automation and robotics and things like that can free us up for other things. that can free us up for more of a diving into our own spirituality, going into different, different aspects of consciousness and things like that. So I'm big on all this type of stuff, and I believe that being more self-sufficient and so having more self-sufficient individuals within society will free up a lot of the space for human growth, psychologically, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Yo, so it's Von, the Sirius Star, Sirius V, the self-help sensei, coming to you live from the airwaves, and I will be back like I never left.